to one of the biggest debates going on right now in Massachusetts, whether to legalize recreational marijuana. 4 states have already done it, plus Washington, D.C., and you'll be asked to weigh in on this November's ballot. If the majority of you vote yes, Massachusetts would legalize marijuana for anyone 21 years or older, apply an excise tax of 3.75% on top of the state sales tax. Last night, I hosted a forum at the Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate. We brought in experts from as far away as Oregon and Colorado to discuss how marijuana legalization would work, including whether there's any evidence we'd see an increase in pot use amongst kids. Here's some of what the experts had to say.
Common sense tells us teen use will go up.
What's the Colorado experience been with teen use?
But the good news is, I think we were fearful of a big spike in teen use. But consumption in general, we just have not seen more smokers of marijuana, youth, adults. Actually, the only statistically significant increase have been 65 years and plus for marijuana.
What matters how much you use. As I like to say, the dose matters. But if you're using marijuana regularly at a young age, there are a host of problems. Cognitive difficulties, you can have IQ decline, worsening anxiety, worsening depression.
Does anybody here think that marijuana is more harmful than alcohol to the population?
In many ways, marijuana is more harmful when you look at brain development for learning and cognition. Alcohol in and out of your system in a day. Marijuana stays in your system much longer.
Different degrees of danger. So I like to think about a continuum: marijuana, alcohol, opioids. Obviously, opioids are killers, ravaging the Commonwealth and really the country.
The proponents make the argument that we should legalize and tax it because we're going to have this windfall of tax revenue to take care of problems with the tea in our schools, and that's just not going to happen.
Colorado has seen an increase in fatal car crashes among those with recent marijuana use. So what are the costs that come with...
Okay, let's hold on to just that one.
You can't just talk about the benefits.
We have no idea what's going on with drug driving. We don't have statistics that aren't widely new. What we have is new baseline. We don't have a prior to legalization and post-legalization.
The real issue is we have nothing equivalent to a breathalyzer test that is on the market today, so there's no way for our police officers to identify someone when they pull them over. And number two, we have no legal standard that can be held up in a court of law.
I don't really care if you're an adult in Massachusetts and you want to smoke marijuana in the privacy of your own home. This is about the commercialization. This is about pot candies targeting kids, advertisements. This is about money, not marijuana.
All I want to do is be able to live the way I want, privately, and I don't believe that there's any harm in marijuana. I believe that it's a useful part of life.
Almost every single time people say, wow, I didn't know that's what this was about. I thought, what's the big deal? If an adult wants to smoke a joint, they're here, what's the big deal? As soon as they learn what this ballot question is really about, that this is the marijuana industry, pot shops opening up in every community, marijuana edibles being aggressively promoted, that's when they say, wow.